Hey everyone, Chris Green here. Today we're going to talk about KDP, self-publishing, and all of the things that go along with that process. I'm glad that you're here. If you have questions, you can post them below. If you're watching this on replay, you can still post them below. I will go back and answer any questions that get asked after this live stream. We're live on Facebook in two spots. We're live here on StreamYard, and we're live on LinkedIn, and should be YouTube. I think I'm having trouble with YouTube, but it seems to kind of be working. And yeah, I think it is working. So today we're going to talk about some things that go along with self-publishing and just business in general. And it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, I'm from an age where I remember life before the internet. And sometimes I think back and like, hey, if I had a problem and like I couldn't figure something out, like how did I find an answer? And you have to think back, like did you go to an encyclopedia? Did you go to the library? Did you have to ask somebody that hopefully knew the answer? But like if you had like a plumbing question, you kind of just had to call the plumber. And now we can go on YouTube and we can search for videos about all the even a very, very specific type of plumbing question is probably a video on YouTube answering that question and showing you how to fix something or overcome something, or if you should worry about something or whatever it might be. So the way that we get answers has definitely changed, but there are still some answers that I know trip people up. And I know sometimes people get stuck on a question where they feel I need to have the answer to this question before I can move forward, before I can't get to the next step until I have an answer to this. It's not even necessarily something that they need to um, have a full comprehensive answer for. And sometimes I think it's actually, uh, I don't even say intentional, but sometimes accidental. This feeling of like I can't move forward until I have an answer to this question. Like should I list my book on multiple websites? I don't know. Should I? Like, is that a good idea? Is that something I need to decide right now? Should I be on Amazon? What if I don't list on the other sites now? Will that like and then all of these questions kind of go in like a whirlwind or tornado in your head, and it prevents you from moving forward. It prevents you from saying, look, that's a question that I have. It's kind of a curiosity question. And curiosity questions can sometimes become excuse questions to where, like, hey, I've got this curiosity about something and my brain is like really kind of obsessed with it. My brain is spending a lot of time and energy focused on this. And when you really get down to it, you don't even need that answer. Like it's a curiosity question. But if you're inexperienced or if you're just getting, started or, something new that you don't know a lot about, sometimes those curiosity questions can feel like things like I have to have this answer before I can move forward. And that can be a problem because a lot of times you don't need that answer in order to move forward. It's simply curiosity. I see this a ton in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in around eBay and reselling, where someone will have a question like, I saw the seller sell something for this price. What, how are they doing that? Are they making money? Are they losing money? And it's like we could go down that road, but you don't need any of those answers in order to list your own stuff, ship your own orders, find new inventory, like all of those things. They're curiosity questions, but people get hung up on them and they think, is there a secret? Like, does this seller who's able to sell something at such a low price, they know something I don't know? Do I need to know that in order to move forward? Am I going to be, losing money on shipping? Am I going to be not making as much money as I should? And all of these kind of whirlwind questions are going on in their head instead of saying, huh, I don't know, and moving on by looking at other people, other sellers, and worrying about what they're doing. Are they making money? Are they losing money? Do they know something I don't know? Maybe, but who cares? It doesn't matter. You're letting a curiosity question turn into something that's preventing you from moving forward. And there's no better answer or no better way to get over these types of questions than if you could just actually talk to an expert. Talk to someone who has been there, who has done that, who knows the topic, the subject, the industry, whatever it might be, inside and out. And I've frequently thought of this, whereas like if I could just talk to a plumber for like 10, 15 minutes, right? Like if I just talk to an electrician, if I just talk to somebody about this specific, particular subject, to where I could ask my very specific questions and give very specific answers instead of trying to find if someone on YouTube has answered this very specific question. Maybe they kind of answered it, but they didn't answer it, in my, particular, circumstances. And just being able to get an expert on the phone or on Zoom or a video chat or FaceTime and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? And then get that input, get that advice, and get like a little maybe coaching and even like motivation. Uh, like I've seen many sites try to solve this problem. It's a big problem. At least I've got to believe it's a big enough problem because I have seen many sites try to tackle this, where they want to have kind of a bank of experts that you can come in and hire and say, look, you can talk to this person who's an expert in this, and here's their credentials, and you can talk to them for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, 45 minutes. These are their rates, and here's their calendar. And I don't think they've really taken off, because it's almost too specific to like have everybody in one place instead of like, hey, you know what kind of expert you need, then just go find an expert out there. And if you're looking for an expert in self-publishing, I'm happy to be that expert for you. I've been self-publishing since 2011. I've published dozens of books. I've earned hundreds of thousands of dollars in royalties through Amazon's KDP program. I'm not traditionally published by any of the publishers. All of my books have always been published through KDP. I self-publish all my own books. I write all my own books. I make all of my own covers. Um, if there is a question that you have around the self-publishing process, specifically with Amazon and their KDP program, I'm your guy. I can answer them. I've been there. I've seen everything, and I've got to say, from some of the other groups that I'm in, I'm surprised how I don't say how little but how some of the nuances and the advantages and the benefits of KDP are not being seen or realized by a lot of the members. So when I share something that I think is kind of basic and I thought everybody knew, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you could do that. Thanks so much. This is the most helpful post I've ever seen." I'm like, "Hey, I'm glad to help, but like I thought you guys knew this stuff." And that's another thing that can happen when you are an expert in something. You can forget that other people don't know some of the things that you consider to be simple, to be easy, to be, common knowledge. You're like, wait a minute. What I consider to be common knowledge is not common knowledge, depending on someone's experience level. If they're just getting started, or even if they have been self-publishing for years, they haven't realized, wait a minute, I didn't know I could ship a single author copy to like 8 different countries. Like, yeah, why not? Well, I thought it was just for ordering bulk purchases. It's like, that's a fair assumption. You were wrong. You can order single copies. The cost per book, the shipping cost per book is going to be higher. However, if you're using it as a fulfillment method, so you took an order on your own website, you can certainly go to Amazon and say, hey, ship one of these books to this address. And Amazon will be like, not a problem. And the printers will fire up and they'll just do all their stuff. It's almost all automated and automatic. Amazon is happy to print our books. It's better to print our books than have their printers there doing nothing, right? So I think maybe some people overthink some things, and they also don't think through some of the ways that you can use some of the aspects of self-publishing, especially Amazon and KDP. Uh, and I'm happy to help. And what I've done with the self-publishing challenge, which is coming up, it starts next Monday, so you have 1 week to join. You can go to self-publishing challenge. Actually, I've got a little banner that I can actually put up. Let me see if I can find it. Self-publishing challenge. Actually, let's put this one up instead. Little one along the bottom. When you join the self-publishing challenge, I'm including what I call an author audit. Now, if you're not an author yet because you're just getting started, that's okay. We'll talk about your book, your subject, the plan for your book, the marketing strategy will help you get started on your outline. This is one-on-one private coaching that you get when you join the self-publishing challenge, not with somebody on my team or anything like that. With me direct, you will get a call with me where we'll cover getting started with your book. And if you're already an established author, if you've already published, we can talk about marketing and new ways that you can use your book to achieve the goals that you want. Maybe you just want more book sales. Maybe you want to grow your online community or a membership group, or start speaking on stages or work on your podcast, whatever it might be. How can we use your book? How can we leverage your published book into whatever your goals are? So it doesn't matter if you're just getting started or if you're already an existing author. The author audit is huge, insanely valuable. I hope I don't regret including it. It might be that my calendar gets filled up and I'm talking to authors for the rest of the year. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that because you can probably tell I like talking about self-publishing and KDP and all of those things. So yes, fill my calendar up. I'll be happy to talk with everybody about how they can use their books to achieve their goals for their personal brand or their business. Um, so I got a question down here. Looks from Gary. Can I offer a code to an FBA customer to download a free copy of an ebook, yet still sell a KDP copy of the book to others for a price? So let me make sure I understand exactly what you're trying to do. Okay, a code to FBA customers download a free copy of an ebook for an instruction manual. Um, so Gary, I think it sounds like what you're trying to do is more complicated than probably what you need to do. Um, if you have a KDP copy of the book, what I would do is drop the price to 99 cents, either as a promo or as the author. You can control the price, drop it to 99 cents. And then you can purchase your own book, right? So you can purchase 100 copies of your book. And you can just put in like 100 people's email addresses, and Amazon will just send that book to 100 people. Or you can order 100 copies and get 100 individual unique redemption links. Then you can put the price back up to 4.99 or 7.99 or whatever you're doing with the book, or leave it at 99 cents. Doesn't matter. But then you now have 100 codes that you can offer for free. Okay, now you can't sell these codes, but you can give them away. So you can say, hey, would you like a copy of my book? It's on Amazon. Just let me know. Join my email list. Send me a message, and you can respond with an individual redemption link. Now, the cool thing about these redemption links is they never expire. You can return them. I believe it's 60 days. It might be 30 or 90. I'm pretty sure it's 60 days. You can return any unused links. After that, you can't return them, but they still don't expire. They do let you know if they have been cashed in. So if someone does, what I generally do is when I send out my links, I'll say, look, please download this book within 7 days. Otherwise, the link may expire. I don't generally say I give it to somebody else because it just kind of it forces questions like, what are you talking about? Give it to somebody else. I just say expires. Um, so encourage them to actually use it and download it. They only work in the country from which they are purchased. I really only purchase my links from USA, so only USA Amazon customers are able to redeem them. International, I don't mind giving out PDFs, for that. However, I think most of my audience is in the US. Um, and yeah, so you can see if they don't cash them in, if they don't redeem them, then you can give them to somebody else. So there's really no waste, which is good because you don't want to like buy all these links and then people don't cash them in and you just kind of wasted money. Um, so your book would still be on Amazon for that way, but to an FBA customer, yeah. So Gary, I think you're thinking way too hard about this. You don't have to use FBA to do any of this stuff. You can certainly buy your own books physically, send them back to an FBA account, and then you could run promos and do coupon codes through Seller Central if you wanted to. That's going to incur a lot more costs. I think you probably get the benefits you're looking for without making it that complicated. Um, yeah, you can certainly give away copies of your book, and you can make your book free for up to 5 days every 90 days if you're enrolled in the Kindle Select program. Um, and then just point people to Amazon. Generally, what I do, since you can just point people to Amazon, but you're not going to get any customer information, is I say, hey, fill out this form, join this email list, and then have an automatic responder that sends them back to the Amazon page. Um, so you're doing an extra step, which you might say is kind of bad for the customer. However, you're collecting that email address, so there's you want to know people that are interested in your book. And if they're saying yes, I want to buy your book or want to download your book, then yeah, collecting that email address on the way, so you can say, hey, I've also got a discount on physical copy. I've got a upcoming webinar. Here's the link. You can join our free community. Here's the link, and you can build more of a customer relationship that way instead of just sending them to Amazon like hoping they download it. That's definitely the way that I would go about it. Um, so Gary's clarifying a little bit. I was thinking of adding the KDP book as an extra item to something they physically buy from FBA. So Gary, what you could do is, and you got to be careful about this because depending on the product you're selling, there might be nuances to how you can include promotional material with your FBA inventory. If it's your own product and you're able to open the box and include it in the box, or like build it into the label so it doesn't come across as like a promotional kind of flyer or card or something like that. Then you can certainly say, hey, when you buy, and of course with your off Amazon promotions, you can say, hey, buy this product and you're also going to get this book. Then when they buy the book, you give them instructions on how to redeem, or they buy the product on through FBA. You give them the instructions on how to redeem. I would probably avoid including some kind of FBA book or a KDP book that you've created with other people's products. Like if you're selling Disney products, I would not do that. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. But if it's your own product, maybe you're a wholesaler, private label, or something like along those lines, you say, look, I'm going to include this complimentary product that makes sense, this KDP book that makes sense to go along with this product, include redemption instructions in the product or on the product so that they can contact you and get their free books, whether you're sending them that individual redemption code or whatever it might be. And at that point, you've got their contact information. You could just send them a PDF. I do like the idea of having something on Amazon anchored with a price, trusted reviews, so much more legitimate to have a Kindle book versus a PDF, even though it's literally the same product. But one is on Amazon and people they see it as an actual product instead of like just something that might just kind of be promotional material. Like, what is this PDF? What am I supposed to do with this? Or just open it. I don't want to print it. I'm out of paper. Ink's expensive. No, just send them over to the KDP. So she says, yeah, my product. So better for me to get copies of my book and put as a bundle. Gary, you can also do that. If you've created the KDP or the Kindle version, the digital version, you can certainly add the physical version. And So if you publish a book that's complementary to one of your products, and I use the example of cookbooks with kitchen appliances, right? You sell blenders. Hey, have your own recipe book specifically for this blender, of blender recipes of juices and smoothies and whatever else you can make in a blender. And you create that book and you list it on Amazon for 19.95 or 24.95. You could list it. Um, the prices I'm going to give you are for black and white. If you do full color, the price is going to be a little bit more expensive. But say it's 24.95 for this recipe book, and you're able to offer it free physical book with your product, your kitchen appliance product. Your cost on that book is going to be like under $3, right? So you have an additional $3 cost, which you could just build in the cost of your product. So now you're going to make $3 less, right, per product. However, you've now included a $25 bonus, so you get to use that in your ad copy and your promotional material and say, look, you get this $25 product when you buy this product. It only costs you $3 more. So you're hoping that the increase in sales from having this additional value in your product will make up for that $3, additional cost. Because they can go on Amazon and look. They can say, "Wow, that is $25. That's a good deal. I buy this $100 blender, I get this $25 book. That's a good deal, and hopefully that will boost you up in sales, and it prevents your competitors from ever listing on that product." Make sense? They don't have your book. So they can't match the exact product on Amazon. So it prevents other sellers from piggybacking on your listing. You can certainly charge a little bit more. So maybe it's $3. Like, "Yeah, I don't want to lose $3. Maybe you bump your price up by $5 or $10. The customer is still getting a bonus. So depending on your competition, if you want to price that way, you might still be the lowest price. You might not be the lowest price anymore, but you have more value in your bundle. Um, it'd be fun to make ads for that. Like, hey, stop, don't buy, hey, you got this new juicer, but what are you going to make? You can go buy a recipe book. It's going to cost you another $25 unless you buy ours, because we include an awesome recipe book. Here's all the 5-star reviews that's got, and it comes bundled, included. You can start making your fruit smoothies right away from day one when you get this product. Order here on Amazon. So this is what I mean about the additional marketing opportunities that open up simply by having a book. Right, you can give away those juicing or the recipes, through KDP, through the Kindle version, like we just talked about with the free redemption codes. But collect email addresses, collect customer information. So you can say, hey, thank you for downloading the book. I hope you enjoyed the Kindle version of it. If you want a physical version, I can offer you one at half price because you're the author. So you can actually drop ship them at a lower price, still make money, and give them a big discount, as well as incentivize them to actually buy your other products on Amazon, such as your blenders or your juicers or your mixers or whatever it might be, because you've collected that email address and you've given them something. And then it's like, oh, okay, this guy's already given me so much. Yeah, I guess I'll get this blender as well. All his other stuff's been great. I'm sure the blender will be great as well. So, a lot of additional options. Better get copies of the book and bundle. Yeah, you could. So, Gary, this is one of the problems, and it's a good problem to have. But you have all these options, right? So now I've got digital book. I've got a physical book. I've got your FBA inventory. And how are you going to bundle them together? How are you going to market these things? What kind of ads are you going to create? Do you want to focus on the digital? Focus on the physical? It's a good problem to have these additional options for marketing and for advertising, where most sellers don't have these options at all. So it's a blessing and a curse to have all these additional marketing options. So be thankful for that, and then just figure out which ones work and try different things. You can certainly have a digital bundle, a physical bundle. You can try giving away the physical book, giving away the digital book, leading it into some marketing campaigns through some email automation. There's a lot of options that you have. So just think about that, brainstorm some ideas, write them down, and then don't overthink it. Start trying some of them. The fact that you can try almost all these things without spending any money, or minimal money, can make this a very interesting and very fun way to use self-publishing. Um, yeah, so Gary, you would probably benefit from an author audit, right? Because I'm going off, which the questions that you have done here. I'm probably not getting everything exactly right, but it sounds like you're an FBA seller, so you understand Seller Central, you understand Amazon, you understand FBA. Now you're understanding KDP. You're going to understand the Kindle side of it, as well as the paperback side of it, the author copy side of it, and the things that you can do at cost. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of additional new information that you kind of have to sort through, and getting on the phone will be like, okay, like Gary, tell me, let's look at your store. Like, what products do you have? And kind of giving you advice on what options, and what roads I would go down if I was in your shoes. And it's a tentative name for my podcast. It'll probably just end up being called the Authorpreneur podcast. But it's the If I Were You podcast. I try to give advice like if I were you. So Gary, if I were you, this is what I would do. But I can only give that advice after I have a closer look at exactly what somebody's doing. But the fact that you understand Seller Central, FBA, promotions, sponsored products, KDP, self-publishing, all these things, you are in a good spot. You have a lot of very valuable information, in my opinion. And yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how you kind of put it all together, to increase the sales of the products that you already have. Um, should I get going first before the author audit? Yes, absolutely. Just like I said, kind of at the beginning, there shouldn't that people can run into things where they think they need something that they don't. They think I need this before I can move forward. And I rarely come across anything where it's like, so that's actually true. It's like, oh yes, you should not do one more step until you get an answer to this question. Um, I can't even think of an example where that would make sense. There's so many things that can always be done, even if you're hung up on something. A lot of people, when they get an author audit, or if they purchase something that comes with a coaching call, they kind of save it. They're like, okay, I'm gonna bank on this because if you go through one of my challenges, like there's a lot of actionable steps that you can take. Where it's not like, oh, I need to talk to Chris first before I get started. That is rarely, if ever, the case. You need to move forward and then be like, hey, I'm going to wait until like I'm really stuck before I cash in on my coaching call or my author audit. That would be my advice. Um, there's so much good information out there already where people can just take that information, move forward, try some things. Um, One of the coolest things about um, self-publishing, in my opinion, is the fact that not only is it free, you can't lose money. Like you can't spend money if you tried, right? Like if your book doesn't sell, it just doesn't sell, right? And if it does sell, you make money and don't have to do any work. And there's no other option where it's like, oh yeah, well, it'll actually cost you money if you don't do this, or if you don't pay attention, all of a sudden you're going to start incurring some fees. Like that just doesn't happen. So it's a very safe, it's a very um, low maintenance, I guess is a good word for it. It's, in my opinion, the best business model that has ever existed. As someone who's come from eBay and Amazon and FBA and all this stuff, to have physical products on Amazon, printed on demand, where you control the price and you have promotional and marketing options that cost you $0. And when someone orders something off of Amazon, the world's largest, most trusted marketplace with trusted reviews, when someone orders, Amazon does all the work and gives you money. And you can do it anonymously. You don't even have to put your real name on it. Like it is so good. And the example I like to use. So anybody here is is using Seller Central. Um, gotta wait till the 29th, Joshua. You'll be all right. Like someone like Gary who's using FBA. Imagine what it would cost you. So if someone came up, someone had a service, say, hey, look, we're ASIN generators. We're going to create a product page for you with pictures, with descriptions. Um, we're going to do the whole thing for you. We're gonna source it. We're gonna have you'll know the cost. You'll know your profit. You can control the price. You can control the margin. And whenever someone orders it, Amazon's going to do all the shipping. And when you need more, we'll automatically replenish the inventory for you, and we'll set all of this up for you. We'll hand over the keys, and it's your ASIN forever. What would you pay to set that up? So, but Gary, if you're still here, there's a question for you. What would you pay someone to completely set up a fresh ASIN for you with a $20 price point and a $10 margin and unlimited replenishment that no one else can jump on? It's yours exclusively. They'll set that up for you and give you the source, right? And people would pay thousands of dollars for this. And we're able to do it with KDP for free, like almost instantly. Like today, you could publish something and now you have a product on Amazon. When it sells, Amazon does the work and gives you money. Like there's so many too good to be true moments about this, uh, that I hope people kind of see this, understand the options and the opportunities, and take some action. Um, because once the challenge starts, people can't join. So it does start on the 29th. I know some of you that are here have already joined. You're already getting emails, and uh, just not cheap. Hundreds of dollars just for the listing, says Gary. I've asked that same question to some of my wholesale buddies who, like, they're taking pictures, like the entire process of setting up and securing, the inventory, and finding a supplier and making sure that it's profitable and doing all of these things, um, just to set it up, thousands of dollars, let alone paying for the inventory and hoping that it sells and only getting paid after it sells. So you have all these expenses up front instead of Well, wait a minute. Like, there's no expenses. The entire thing is set up and done for you, and you can point people to say, "Look, here's my product on Amazon." And you guys know, I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record on this, but the things you can do with books, the information that you can include in the pages of your book can be incredibly valuable. It can be password protected, unlisted videos. So if you're creating like an online course, you can then convert that course into a book. So you're selling course access through a physical product on Amazon. And those courses can cost hundreds of dollars. So instead of just thinking of like low price point, $10 books and stuff, no, it's like what value can you include through the pages of a book? I like the idea of digital, like downloadable assets that you can include. So you can say, look, I made all of these digital assets that people can use on their book covers or on their t-shirt designs if they're doing print on demand. And you say, hey, if you are in the print on demand world and you want commercial access to all of these digital assets that I have created, or you have hired someone else to create for you, you can get those through this book. This book has the information about how to redeem and download and gain access, commercial rights to these digital assets, these drawings, these doodles, these images, whatever they might be. And you're selling that as a book on Amazon. Doesn't mean you can't sell it as just access on a regular website, but having it on Amazon as a physical product with trusted reviews to point people to, and if they're not happy, they can return it, right? To me, that just converts so much better. It establishes you as so much more of an expert and an authority and a professional. And like I say, it's none of it's exclusive. You can still do all of the other ways, all the other marketing ways, all the funnels and all the websites. You can do all that. But when you have that physical product to where you can like hold it up on Instagram and be like, hey, if you want all of my downloadable assets, you can just head over to Instagram instead of like holding up nothing and being like, just go to my website. Like, no, physical product. You can go to an event and you can hand out, you can give away. If something like this is priced at $200 on Amazon, you have now anchored it. To where if you give it to somebody and they look it up on Amazon, they're gonna be like, "Are you sure this is like $200?" You're like, "No, I'm sure," and it costs you $3 to make it. And it can be nice and short. Maybe it's access to 10 videos. So it's on 20 different pages. A video, a description, a QR code, a password, and that's how they gain access to it. You're just using self-publishing, you're using the book as access to something else. So you can connect those dots and all of a sudden you can sell things that are a lot more expensive than just a general book, like a story book. Um, that's where you can get really creative and add a ton of value to your KDP listings. So take advantage of it. Please, please, please take advantage of it. So yeah, Joshua, definitely get going first. Save your author audit for when you really need it, or at least go through the challenge first. Then be like, okay, kind of have an idea what I want to do. Then decide when you want to cash in that author audit and take advantage of it. You know, I think it actually worked. I went to LinkedIn, two places on Facebook, YouTube, and on here on StreamYard. So I hope you guys like the new camera setup. I'm trying to keep it um, nice and clear here with the background of books, obviously. Um, I'll take any questions you guys might have. We're already at 11:30, and I don't want these to go too long to where somebody's watching on replay. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have that much time to sit there." So if you have questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys are not already in our Skool community, and actually let me pull that up so you guys can see what it looks like because it is pretty awesome. Let's switch to this view. Okay, so this is Skool right here, Skool.com/self-publishing. If you just search for Amazon, excuse me, Amazon KDP self-publishing on Skool, we should be at the top of most of those results. You can see we're doing a live video right now. One membership request is pending, so I'll get them added here after the show. Got 253 members in here. You can come in, introduce yourself. You can learn about all of the live videos and the office hours that I am doing this week, as well as information about the upcoming challenge. Highly recommend joining this group. Skool is fairly new, and it really looks like it's going to take off and becoming a very powerful, a very useful resource for online communities and people looking to learn more about all kinds of different subjects. So we are on here. We are the plan for this group is to be the number one place for information about self-publishing, how to do it, how to use it for marketing, just all of the awesome creative uses for self-publishing your own books on Amazon, and yeah, just taking advantage of the platform because it is so good and it opens up so many doors. I've done everything pretty much when it comes to Amazon, and self-publishing is always my go-to as the best, the most powerful, the one with the most potential upside, and the one that really anybody can do, and the one with the lowest costs. Like they just keep going on about how it just everything about the platform uh, works in your favor. So I hope you take advantage of it. I hope you can overcome all of the most common objections. I covered a lot of those last week. Um, a quick recap of them are people think that it's too hard. People think that it takes too long. They think it's too expensive. They think they're not good enough. And they think someone else has already done it or someone else has already done it better. And I broke all of those down to show you why there's a thread of truth in them. Like I understand why people say that. People aren't crazy for thinking those things. However, for the most part, none of them make any sense to actually stop you from moving forward and doing these things. Um, it used to be expensive. It's not expensive anymore. It's completely free. It used to take a lot of time. Now it hardly takes any time at all. Depending how long your book is and how all inclusive it is, it might take a little bit longer. But some books can be published the same day. um, Not too expensive. It doesn't take too much time. I don't care if someone else has already done it. They may not have done it very well. They may not have done it from your point of view. They may, their stuff may be outdated. Like, who knows? But the fact that there's already a book doesn't matter. It's almost good that there's already a book around your subject because that means someone else believes there's a big enough market to do it. So it kind of validates your idea compared to if you go on to Amazon and I teach people how to do this, to do some market research, be like, well, let's see, are there any books already about your topic on Amazon? And if you go and look and there's a ton, people can see it as, oh, it's saturated. And like I see it as, no, that's confirmation that there's an opportunity here, right? Because all these other authors aren't going to invest their time and efforts in writing books of the subject if they didn't think there were enough people wanting to purchase those books. And you guys probably know this. You don't go out and buy one book on a subject, right? If you really want to learn about a subject, you don't just go buy one book and be like, okay, that's all I need. No, you buy multiple books. You want multiple points of view on a subject. And throw your book into that list. Don't be like, oh, there's already one go-to book. Oh, okay. Who cares? Let the market decide and say, yes, I want to hear from this person. I want to hear their point of view. Um, it can be, I will say this, there can be an opportunity to say, uh, there's nothing on here. I'm early, right? I'm going to be first to market about this. And I've been there. I have been first to market. I coined the term retail arbitrage back in 2011. I was the first published book about FBA, about retail arbitrage, about buying products at retail, selling them on Amazon using the FBA program. I was first to all that. Now, if I went in and said, hey, FBA, there's no books here, there's no market, I would have been wrong. Okay. So you do have to be able to tell the difference between, hey, there's nothing out here and I'm early and this is a big opportunity and I should push forward to, hey, there's nothing out here. And that's because like it's just there's really not a market here, right? You've gone too niche. And you gotta be able to tell the difference between those. So I can help people tell the difference if they're struggling. They're like, I don't know, is this an opportunity? Like, is this a blue ocean or is this just something that nobody's interested in? And sometimes you'll make the wrong choice. You'll publish a book and find out nobody wants it, and that's okay. You learned something. You learned what people didn't want. You learned more about the process. You learned all of these things about KDP. Uh, Everything is a learning experience. So don't overthink things and be like, I can't move forward. I don't know if it's a new opportunity or it's not. Like, I don't know. Joshua, yes, we'll be adding lots of stuff to the classroom tab in Skool so that you guys have access to, getting started with KDP, like some course type materials. For now, there's the replays to all the live videos that I've been doing. You can hop on those. And but yes, the classroom section will be getting filled up with lots of KDP information so you understand how to use the platform and as well as like the marketing options as well. So just having a book on Amazon is cool, but using that book strategically and intentionally to actually build your business or your personal brand, whatever you're using your book for, that is also incredibly valuable as well. So yes, we will be doing that. So all right, we're covered on questions there. I'm pretty sure there are no questions on Facebook. And that was yesterday's. Let's see what today's is. Yeah, no, we're caught up. Very good. All right. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Join Skool if you haven't already. skool.com/self-publishing. And it's completely free to join. It's the community is growing. We're up to almost 300 people there already. And we'll head back over here. I'll be going live again tomorrow. If you're in Skool, you already have the link. You can follow me on Facebook if that's where you're watching. I don't know if you can follow me on StreamYard. But if you're here, I'm confident You must be in school if you're here on StreamYard. I think that's the only place I posted a link. So thanks as always. Depending where you guys are, I hope you stay warm. It is definitely cold up here where I am. Looking forward to some warmer temperatures, hopefully soon. And yeah, keep working on your books, keep brainstorming, keep writing down your ideas. Just do something to move forward. And don't get hung up and be like, I can't move forward until I have the answer to this question. Chances are it's a curiosity question, or it's a question that you can get the answer to in the future, but there are always going to be things you can work on and you can stay motivated on and keep your momentum going. So work on those and don't let any type of one-off question derail you from moving forward with your book. And if I can help, please just reach out. Joshua, Gary, thanks for being here. We'll chat with you guys soon.